For anyone out there listening right now, there's some new voices. There's some new voices, Smitty. And I can't lie, when we first had this idea, like actually doing it now, it reminds me of that infamous week in Duquesne history where half the team was banished and half the team was still training.
Yeah.
I can't tell the viewers which side I was on, but I will say this is the vibe that I'm getting.
Well, just
And
tell them the truth, jackass. Say you were one of the fortunate ones that was out all night, and you just so happened to be in the training group that was mature enough not to act like jackasses during the training, while I, the very responsible human being I was, said I was going to stay in. And I think I almost died during that training session.
Smitty, you know what's even crazier? I wasn't even talking about that weekend.
Well, there were plenty of infamous nights.
Oh,
It could have been the one where
Yeah.
one of our dear friends got arrested and ended up in jail. It could have been the one that
I vividly remember.
one of us jumped off a roof and had blood all over his jeans.
Some say it was a bridge, but I'll leave that for discretion for that person.
Or it could have been a night that one of us mistaked a cat for a tiger outside of Brodier.
That was a good one.
There were a lot of nights. There was
a lot of nights, but I'm excited to spend this night with this group of people right here. Now, I'll go through some quick introductions. To everyone, make sure like, comment, subscribe. Remotely related, we're here. Apple, Spotify. But I guess nice and brief. When you think of football heritage in Pittsburgh, there's only one name that should really come to mind. So I think everyone, just give a round of applause. Drago is in the building. Drago is in the building. How you doing?
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure. I'm doing well, Kenny. It's good to have the old household back. Live.
Yeah. Oh, man.
If there was one person that was firsthand had access to all of the things that we have done and probably remembers it better than all of us, it would be him.
Well, if there wasn't H2O, he wasn't going to go, and we understand. We understand. It worked out for him, so welcome to the pod, Drago. And
Pleasure.
for anyone out there, West Ham correspondent. So I'm curious for today. But moving on. Now, this next one here. If you had any dealings with the Greek mafia, if you were there on some of those infamous nights when the peanut butter shots just tasted so good, you had to run it back. You had to run it back. One of the fastest people that I know. Give it up for Kello. Give it up for Kello. Kello, welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Mm-hmm. How's the stocks?
It's going.
It's
going.
Tell him,
Keeping
Kello,
it tight-lipped.
stocks only go up. Stocks only go up.
They do. So most people say.
I
And
think
then,
if you smell the gyros, they were coming from Kello's grill. And I can say this man always supplied us with the best cooking tips. And I think we all learned a lot from the 2 years that we lived with him. And we couldn't get that grill to work for shit, but boy,
when it worked.
It worked 3 times, but when it worked, it was working.
It's always caught on fire on us.
Been caught on fire a couple times.
Oh man.
Well, we're glad you're here, Kello.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
And for the fifth and final voice. Wow. Wow. What can we say here?
A lot.
I'll just say I've never met anyone like this person before. To this day, I live in 3 different cities, 3 different states, and there's no one like him. I'm sure you'll hear a lot more about him throughout the seasons as the episodes go. But Smitty, if you have anything, just give a round of applause for AB. AB is in the building.
No.
Good?
It's amazing. Like we mentioned before the pod started, for I don't know, it's been probably 2 years since we've all been in the same setting together and talking and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
all the laughs and things, like I started when the idea came up, I just started thinking about all the times that we would just sit in the living room and just bullshit and watch, and it's yeah. I was very, very, very excited for this. So thanks for having me.
Oh, of course.
If you don't know, Aaron was my sophomore year roommate at Duquesne. And if you were ever outside of Duquesne Towers between the hours of 1:30 and 2:30 in the morning on the field, and somebody was yelling profanities out the window, it was
Allegedly.
probably somebody on the screen you're seeing right now.
We'll leave that for interpretation.
Yeah.
But I feel like we brought up some memories, some things that were going on. And I think it's only right that we start the pod with one of the many conversations that we'd probably have if we were sitting on that couch. For anyone out there, we're going to play a game of start, bench, sell. So, basically, you just pick one that you would start, pick one that you would have to move to the side, and then one that just has to go. And we're going to base this around some Pittsburgh stuff, some footy stuff, and just some all life stuff. First one here. Curious on your takes. Start, bench, sell. Domino's, Milano's, and Pizza Care. Let's discuss.
I think it's only right if Drago starts us off with this one.
Yep.
Me, okay. I'm saying I'm selling Pizza Care because I really only had that one a few times. I didn't have that one many.
Oh no.
I'm going Milano's first. So I'm starting Milano's, benching
Sausage
Domino's.
pizza?
Milano's has the pizza and they have the pepperoni rolls too.
Easy breadsticks.
And the cheesy breadsticks.
What about the buffalo chicken hoagie?
With the big lemonade, the biggest lemonade I've ever seen.
Smitty
They
special.
thought I was drinking lean in that styrofoam cup.
Just some pink lemonade.
Oh no, that's interesting. See, I know you wouldn't understand, but Pizza Care, the run that Pizza Care was on. Whoa.
I'm not disrespecting it. It's just the other two options are just there for me, you know.
For the viewers, Kenny, do you want to break down the schedule that would occur when Pizza Care was blocked? Do you want to give us a timeline of how that would work on those marvelous Sunday mornings?
Not really. Don't want to incriminate myself like that.
One of those things where you may not remember it
Can't
fully.
speak about this time.
Yeah, no, if it was 3 p.m. and all of a sudden you needed a nap, you needed some food on a Sunday post training that maybe you weren't 100% at anyways, Pizza Care was always there. It was always there. Right down the road. So I feel like for me, it might be a hot take. Domino's might have to go.
My personal thoughts on the Pizza Care are, it was during very bad times. It was during COVID, but they would always come through. And that pizza could bring together the boys like no other. But I agree with Drago. Pizza Care, I have to cut them. I do.
No.
Because Milano's is the best tasting. I'm not going to get into an argument. No one's going to argue that. Milano's had the best food. But the convenience of Domino's being right on East Carson Street. When we lived on East Carson Street, basically, you can't beat that convenience. Kello, I know you were in the Domino's quite often. You got some strong opinions.
Maybe more times than we wanted to be, but yeah, I was there a lot, along with all of us many late nights. Just from a different perspective, you know, being gluten free. I would have to say that you know, Pizza Care was pretty good. Domino's was also good, but if I had to pick one, I'd say Pizza Care. Just because
Yeah, I like that. I like
Domino's
that.
would go in there, it'd be late in the night. They'd usually mess up the order, or they would take forever. But
yeah, just think about it. Like how busy some of the phones might have been when they shouldn't have been on a Sunday.
Oh, absolutely.
It was there. Pizza Care.
Absolutely.
Like,
The phones weren't busy. We were ordering food at 2:30 in the afternoon on Sunday.
do you realize how much was consumed up to 2:30?
That gas station was in a prime location.
Oh man. Duquesne Market too, just looking at us. Oh, you need another Gatorade. Is this Sprite this time? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll leave that for debate. Next one here, Drago. I don't know how involved you'll be in this one. Mario's Carson City Tequila Cowboy. Let's discuss.
Ugh.
Let's discuss, boys.
Before we rank those three, Aaron, where would you throw Prime Jimmy D's into the mix there? Do they fit in the same class?
Prime Jimmy D. Yeah, it was in a class of its own. The sticky floor, the floor shaking so hard that you think it's gonna collapse.
It looked
Yeah.
like SpongeBob's like house in that episode when the house keeps going up and down.
Yeah, and then just that was my first time in a bar. And some interesting things happened that first time, and then things got cut short due to COVID. So that one is kind of in its class of its own, I would say, Smitty.
Honorable mention.
When
Yeah.
when Kenny sent me these lists, another one that I forgot about was good old Dunbar's. And if you don't know about Dunbar's, when I
We're
say
talking Pittsburgh
when
heritage.
when people say burn it to the ground, that place legitimately got burned to the ground. I'm not kidding. The building isn't there anymore. And
Oh,
Um,
I think that was my first college bar. I think it was. So that has a special place in my heart as well.
Another honorable. Well, I can take the reins on this one for the first.
please do. This is your
um,
bag.
It is my bag. I am a still resident in Pittsburgh, up in Mount Washington. However, I do venture down to the Southside quite often, unfortunately. And with that being said, I'm just gonna get right to the chase. Mario's, despite maybe some things in the current news that you may have heard about Mario's,
Ooh, right.
I don't, not a part of that, but I am a part of the bar, and it's a great one. It's very fun. Kenny and I have a very interesting story that I am not allowed to bring up, but definitely got to go with that one. I'm putting Carson on the bench. It's tough. Carson,
Ooh.
top floor Carson. Name a better bar. I don't care where it is in Pittsburgh. Name a better bar than top floor Carson. It's like 75 degrees at night. Little breeze is hitting your face after like 8 rum and cokes.
Oh, this is sounding.
$2 rum and cokes.
He's restoring the feeling.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then
Prime
Yes.
Carson's up there. Prime Carson's
it
up
is.
there with the
and
best.
they used to do dollar blue moons on Wednesdays.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, they don't do that anymore. They are under new ownership. But
Shout out the bartenders.
the bartenders.
Just cuz.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
cuz.
yeah.
Some
Should
talent
we
there.
shout out the Finn's bartenders while we're at it?
Wow. Hey, I know who you're thinking of.
How about so you're throwing TC on the bench. TC's going on the bench. Huh?
TC is getting cut.
Oh,
TC's getting cut.
Selling TC.
I gotta just, it's one of those places that like you kind of crave it, but then when you turn 21, you go and it's like, oh, maybe I had like a different perspective on it. But it is very different than any other of the bars like in Pittsburgh, I think. It is fun.
I think the South Side still has an aura, right? You go down there, you don't know what's gonna happen. It's a little more
I don't know.
dangerous on the night, and I think that adds into the fun. It's kind of like, actually, I'm not gonna say. Another honorable mention: local on a Thursday.
Yes.
Great spot.
Yep. And
I love that
Many
place.
pictures.
Yeah. Those were some
electric
good nights.
lemonade to the dome.
My goodness. Woke up thinking I just went to the moon. Oh.
Good nights, man.
Well, Aaron, we'll give you final say on start bench sell here, just for confirmation.
Confirmation: we are starting Mario's. We are benching Carson, and we are cutting Tequila Cowboy.
All right. Fair play. Next one here, two more. We'll go to Kello and Drago. I'm curious to see how you guys were ballers back in the day, currently, whatever's going on. So start bench sell, the tucked in shirt for style, the baggy shorts, or the low socks. What are we thinking here?
Well, growing up in my club in the
You
River
definitely
Mountain
had the tucked in shirt, Drago.
Yeah,
Definitely had.
we had to do the tucked in shirts, and then right
The
when
biggest shin
I got
pads
into
too.
college,
Drago used to play with hockey pads, dude.
tuck shirt just went out the door. It was
Mm.
never tucking the shirt in, but I'd still have to start the tuck shirt because low socks, just not my
We
thing.
might be on the same page.
I didn't even cut my socks ever in my career, so
I'm with you.
I was one of the only people who did that at every level I played at, and then so I'd have to cut the socks and then bench baggy shorts.
Oh,
Okay.
no baggy shorts.
You went to a Dick's Sport as
I
a
love
with
the baggy
mannequin.
shorts.
Drago was
Well,
the
Kenny,
mannequin.
you used to wear jeans under the shorts when you played, so you needed the baggy shorts.
That was another teammate of ours. You might be mistaking me. He is definitely a German who loved the jeans on the field. But you know, when I think of the tucked in shirt, currently, like current players, I think of Mateta. Mateta just walking like this
Yeah.
with the whole celebration too. Oh, the kick of the court. Oh my gosh, the aura, unbelievable. But Kello, when you were just speeding by everyone back in the day, what did that look like for you?
Yeah, so going off what Drago said, growing up, shirt was always required to be tucked in. As soon as that whistle went off, though, it may have gotten pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
But as for socks, never really cut the socks, never wore 'em low. Shorts,
Any impressions of people that you see with the low socks? Like when
nah,
you see them, no, you're just like, oh, it's just a chill guy, just want to
yeah,
play some
nothing
footy.
comes to mind. Yeah,
When
yeah.
I think of the low socks, I think of Jack
Nato
Grealish, and
Santos.
it makes
Yep,
Yeah.
good job, Nate Dos Santos.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's only a couple
I
players
think
that
we
I
all
know
thought
that
the
have
same
done that.
thing.
Honestly, I don't see it too much personally, or I haven't at least.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I think it was pretty easy one that. So
Drago, would you rather have to wear the goalkeeper helmet or the cut socks?
I'd have to do the cut socks.
Oh, you
Oh,
don't want to
dude,
wear
the
a helmet?
helmet would be iconic, though. The helmet would be iconic.
I don't think I could rock that.
I could see you out there, like looking like Petr Cech.
You
I don't
lose
know.
about 100 aura points. You post a picture on Instagram.
Oh, but okay, all right. Last one here. Probably gonna lean on A, B, and Drago for this one. But start bench sell. John Cena,
Oh,
Randy Orton,
oh,
The Undertaker.
oh, God.
Aaron, you
Where
go
does
first.
Jack Shear fit into the
Wow.
equation?
Yeah.
Well,
The
Jack
Undertaker.
Shear, yeah, wherever Undertaker is.
Anyone who pulls up like this in towers? Nah.
And on
Yeah.
I don't know if you were on that trip where he sang. He also did that as well. The Undertaker.
You're lying.
Yeah,
Like on the away trip.
on the bus. Yeah,
No, he did not sing The Undertaker. You are lying.
I am not lying. I think that was.
Did he turn out the lights on the bus or something? Like-
Oh, he just did it. He was, in his element. 'Cause
He came out of the bathroom.
I think it was. I think it was St. Joe's away. So
Oh,
that
why
was
don't I
our
remember that?
think.
Oh
I
my
think.
gosh.
I could be wrong, but I do remember. I do remember Jack doing that on the bus.
That's
He was in his element.
unreal.
Yeah. We, for people that may not understand, we all lived on the same floor for Kenny's freshman year, and then all of the rest of us, our freshman year, his sophomore year. And there were moments where we would, I guess, role play WWE, in which we would just get Jack Shear, who was just on the pod, would be the Undertaker and be in full outfit and choke slam whoever was in his path. So,
Well, what WrestleMania is coming up? What, next week?
Next
yes,
week.
Drago
You
and I
might
have
be
big
in there.
plans.
There is
Yeah, hey, me and
there's a
Aaron
very
might
good
be
chance.
getting together next weekend for that.
Mm,
Just saying.
We might
okay.
have to add the clips into the episode so people can see. I mean, I have 45 minutes of footage in my snap
have-
memories of these
I have
guys
a lot of
wrestling
those.
each other.
We got to sell that to Netflix. Oh man.
Docu-series of 9C.
Okay.
But
Let's
yeah,
log
Aaron,
back in.
yeah,
With
Aaron,
that
go
being
ahead.
said, I would have to start Randy Orton. I love Randy Orton. Drago knows I love Randy Orton. He is just an absolute, he's a specimen. And the RKO is one of the greatest finishing moves
Iconic.
of all time. He will get you anywhere. Always watch your back. I'm going to have to bench John Cena, especially because he's turned heel. Can't get behind it. It's very weird.
No.
I know.
No.
But you guys know that even though I just told a beautiful story about Jack Shearer choke slamming me into the wall, the Undertaker is gonna have to kick the can. And yeah.
Get rid of the Undertaker?
I have to. You guys probably thought I was gonna cut Randy Orton, but I love Randy Orton.
Fun fact about Randy Orton. So my barber back in Connecticut randomly saw him at like a public place. They were both using the bathroom at the same time, and Randy Orton just walked in. Yeah, he didn't get RKO'd because that would have been crazy on the stall. That would have been crazy.
I was gonna say the turn I'll go with him getting his haircut because he doesn't have any. But
Oh no, but he said they literally just gave like a glare and just kept it pushing. I'm like,
that's
you know
crazy.
what? Fair enough.
That's wild.
But I don't. Yeah, go ahead, Drago.
So my opinion's a little different. So as Aaron knows, I'm a John Cena guy. He's been my childhood hero, growing up watching, he was the big guy. So I've always been a John Cena guy, so I'm starting him. And then I have to bench Undertaker and cut Randy Orton, but that's
Yep.
nothing against Randy Orton because he's also a legend of the game. So
Yeah.
Uh,
And
no
if you
disrespect.
haven't seen him lately,
Yeah,
this dude is massive.
he's
like
like
300
pounds, and he's
Yeah.
literally
He's
muscle.
massive.
It's
someone who hasn't watched in a while, I might need
he
need
looks
to.
insane.
Yeah.
He's literally 300 pounds of muscle.
Wow. Okay. Any final thoughts here? Kello, were you big in WWE? You wrestling your brothers?
Used to be years ago, not anymore. I was a very big Rey Mysterio fan.
That makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I actually used to.
You had the
draw-
mask?
I had a bunch actually, but I used to actually draw pictures of him with a bunch of different colored masks.
Mm.
So he was the man.
Ledge.
He was making the gyros.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
Kenny, I don't know about you guys, but I think towards the end of our college life, these last couple months, I started to reminisce a little bit, and I started to think of all the things that have happened and all the things we did. And then we graduated, and once we graduated, I started talking to a bunch of different people that went to different schools and played different sports. And I asked them, like, what their experience was like, and I'd tell them my experience. And I was telling these guys stories, like, I'm talking to Division 2 guys and Division 3 guys, and they're looking at me absolutely appalled. And I don't think that can be said enough of how successful the team was, given the circumstances that we put ourselves in.
Against all odds. Against all odds. Odds that we created, but against all odds.
Well,
Yeah.
it comes from top down,
I look at the leadership.
had
Maybe someone who's on this pod. Uncomfortable conversations. But we'll
You
say
know
calm.
what they say, though. You know what they say. If the team morale off the pitch isn't good, the team morale on the pitch wasn't good. So some of us had to make sure the morale was high.
Duquesne.
And at times, we were
wonderful.
turning the morale up a little too high at the wrong moments. And
Yeah.
some of us got humbled real quick. None of us here, but other friends of ours got humbled real fast.
Great group of guys, for sure. That's without question.
Yeah. Well, I feel like for anyone listening, that's basically how a convo would go without the footy. But we do focus on the Prem here, and I think it's only right that we dive right in. We have a Man City fan. We have a West Ham fan. We have some Liverpool fans. But yeah, let's dive right into City Palace here. We'll go to AB. Before I give you the floor, just so you can talk through what you saw and what's going on. You texted the group chat last week, and you were a bit upset at Benny's take around Kevin De Bruyne. Now, after today, especially, I feel like it's only right that if you wanted to speak to his legacy, if you wanted to call out Benny, the floor is yours.
Yeah, not gonna call him out. But let's just talk about KDB for a second. Talk about a guy who got brought into this league and just changed the team kind of completely. Like, I know they were trending up whenever he came into the league, but what he did with this team, I mean, if you just look at Kevin De Bruyne's top goals, you're talking. You can have a whole highlight reel of free kicks. You can have a whole highlight reel of outside the box shots, the passes that he would make. I mean, he just elevated the team. And you mentioned it, Kenny, the signature ball coming into him. And he just one time swings it with how
Mm-hmm.
much curve just right into the path. And you could argue that he could have, I mean, 100 more assists with some of the misses that have accumulated over the years.
Uh-huh.
With some of the teammates, but and something else that I want to mention about KDB is a lot of people talk about his work rate, which kind of goes into the game from yesterday. But this dude will track back. Now I know you don't see it as much now, but he does get back and defend when he doesn't really need to be asked. And his energy level elevates the team and makes and changes the game on its head whenever it's going south. So KDB will forever be a legend of the game, and in this era of the Premier League, 100% best player or definitely in the best midfield.
Wow.
I
That was
think
poetic.
I gave the KDB conversation a lot more thought this week since the news that he was leaving. And I think given the right situation and the right team, he might have a couple more years left in him in Europe. I'm starting to think he could. I'm not talking about 90 minutes, 30 games a year. No, I'm talking like 20 minutes, 30 games a year. Just super sub, come break down low blocks. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if
Would
it will
it
happen.
still be in England?
I saw an interview the other day where he said he's open to anything. I
See,
don't
it's a,
think he'd disrespect City like that,
yeah.
but maybe he feels disrespected, so maybe he would. I don't know.
I think you could kind of like. I mean, it was talked about last year, him leaving and going to Saudi and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, I do think there's still some gas in the tank. It would pain me a lot to see him on a different team that was still in like a top five league. Just seeing him in like a different kit at this point would just be so weird. Um, but I don't necessarily want him to go to a retirement home like the MLS. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Would you rather him go to MLS or Saudi? What do you think, Drago?
For his sake, Saudi.
Uh,
Yeah. It would be sweet seeing KDB on like Nashville or something. I could just see it.
uh. Well, as a certified hater, if he does have gas in the tank, I would love for it to be in Europe. I can't even lie. Oh my
Yeah.
god. See, he goes, I'm going back to Chelsea. What? Wow. Something like that. That would be good. That would be so good to me. But, um, glad you got that out the way. Now, City Palace. A lot of goals. A lot of goals. Didn't start out too hot for you guys. Want to talk us through there? What was going on?
Yeah. Um, you know, I woke up right when the game started on Saturday after a frisky Friday night. And
Uh,
when you start off the game and your team looks terrible, it makes that waking up on a Saturday morning a lot worse. I mean, lethargic. We're just getting destroyed down the sides, and it's like the same thing that you've kind of seen how you beat City, balls over the top, crosses, and then set pieces. we have been weak in all 3 of those areas for the past however many seasons, and we do not have the same team that we had before to like overcome that. And you saw it on the first goal, just down the side, ball across to Eze, easy tap in, and then the set piece with Chris Richards. Shout out.
USA baby.
Yeah.
That celebration, little toe
Yeah.
tap. It
Pretty-
looked like
pretty
me
tight.
trying to get back in the crib at like 2 a.m. just sneaking my way back in there.
Yeah.
But no, sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
No. That was good, but then, and they could have tacked on a couple more as well.
Could have
but
been
I think
3.
right. But what really changed was KDB, right?
Uh-huh.
All you needed was one moment, right? That free kick, which great free kick, off the post and in, and then that just, oh, hey,
I have
he
something
was
to
put
say
in the
about
right
that
spot.
after you're done. I have a question for Smitty
Okay,
after you're done.
but yeah, and then from there though, energy levels, like he was a spark plug that got everyone back in, and we actually wanted to go and attack and win balls and track back and do all those things and defend. It just seems like with the city team, we're not like trying to take the game. We just kind of like sit and like let things happen, and then it's like, we're down now, we have to fight from behind, or then the energy starts coming out whenever we're down, we have to fight. It's like, why can that just not be the all the time? And maybe that's Pep's system, and it's kind of everyone knows it now, and it's like no one is afraid to play City anymore. No one's afraid to try to actually attack City.
Outdated
like,
footy potentially.
Yeah, and like and I think you've seen it though. It's like, who's afraid now? No one.
Well, I'm on the record, and I will stand by this. They just have players that can't run anymore because they're burnt out, and
Yeah.
the new players that they've brought in are not at the level of the players that they have had in the past. Drago, go ahead. You wanted to mention something about the free kick.
Yeah, as a keeper, Smitty.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
That
really
wall,
bad.
That
It's
wall.
It's beautiful.
It's the wall, and then I just want your thoughts as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's just blatant stupidity. I think me and Kenny have talked about this a lot the last couple of weeks. I don't remember goalkeepers getting beat on the opposite side of the wall so much as I've seen this year. At least make him hit it over the wall. Like, that's KDB. You're just giving him, here, shoot it in this alley. Here, just shoot it here. And that's what he did. And he hit it off the post and in. Just bad
Kevin De
goalkeeping.
Bruyne, like it's not.
Yeah, it's not
I mean, their names.
it's not
Right.
Jordan Henderson standing over the ball.
It's not
Jordan.
Mbappe.
No.
You had to score a free kick.
Drago, what are Drago or Kello, what are your takes on this City team this season, and where do they go from here? Because I don't think they can have the same team and compete next year. I think they got some pieces they need to add.
I mean, Marmouche is a great start. I think he's a quality player, but I
So
just think they
good.
ran out of steam. Like,
So good.
what was it? What is it? Was it 3 in a row? 3 titles in a row? How many? Yeah. Like,
Yep.
just ran out of steam playing the same system for 3 years, and then your Ballon d'Or holding mid, who was your guy, is out for the entire year. I know it doesn't make a 25-point difference, but it definitely doesn't
I
help.
mean, there's another player that Smitty's been adamant on that City team that hasn't been to standard.
I would love to just kind of, I don't know what, like, us thinking that signing Nico Gonzalez is going to be the same thing as having Rodri. It's like, what are we talking about? And like, I don't understand why.
Spanish.
Like, it's very evident.
He likes the paella.
Like,
Respectfully,
Respectful.
going from Rodri to Nico Gonzalez is the same as Liverpool going from Caicedo to Endo. That's what it felt like.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I understand that we needed a replacement, but the expectations cannot be that he is going to be the same as Rodri. Rodri was the backbone, and like, he was only getting better, and I don't know. It just, there's a whole thing. I could go into a whole rant. Not
Well,
Yeah.
Pep continued to play as if Rodri was still on the pitch, which is probably what the
Another.
biggest issue was. And then there's a guy named Phil Foden that I don't know if he's played a minute in the Premier League this season because I just don't know if he's even out there, to be honest with you.
Dude, it's what is going on? Like I've been asking myself that question. How can you go from like player of the year then to just being like, where are you, dude? And it's very strange talking about Foden because it was kind of like, yeah, with that England team last summer, like fading as well, and then it's just nothing. And it's another one of those things where you talk about academy players and like playing your academy and think about this City team, right? And like the way that they've been doing it and adding these players from different like buying players, but we have academy players that we've let go that have done amazing things at other clubs. Romeo Lavia at Southampton, then Chelsea, and you have Cole Palmer, who you saw the signs at City that he was going to be a fantastic player, and they just
Rodgers.
for whatever reason, Morgan Rogers. Liam
Liam
Delap
Delap.
now is getting talked
Yeah.
about as like a top player that, like, the clubs want to sign. I mean, I could go on and on about this, but I swear, if James McAtee does not get like a contract extension at City, I'm going to freak out because that kid is special.
Well, I hear you. And to be a little toxic here, speaking of freaking out, did anyone see Pep after they equalized? Anyone see him?
Yeah.
Hyping up. So for the people who didn't see, they were down 2-0, and then they brought it back to 2-2. During that time, the fans were booing the team. So once they brought it back to 2-2, Pep just started antagonizing them and just going like, oh yeah, you like that? You like that? Hitting like the Shawn Michaels and all that. Like,
Psychotic.
craziness. Like, this guy's a psycho. He's a certified psycho.
He's psychotic.
Yeah.
And I know you guys like to say he ruined football. Well,
He did.
I mean,
He did.
yeah, there's a
yeah, I'm saying it with my chest.
yeah.
Look at how Southampton plays. That's a prime example of how Pep has ruined football.
Yeah.
For
AFC
City,
Richmond has a better chance.
For City, goalkeeper. They need to sign a goalkeeper. They
I
both
heard.
aren't good enough. Right back. They need to sign a right back.
Rico Lewis.
The third option that I don't know if they need it yet, but it will decide Phil Foden's future. If they can get Florian Wirtz, just do it, whatever it costs.
Yeah. I'm in agreement. That kid is disgusting.
Yeah, it's interesting this time of the year for footy in the Prem, just because there's probably 6 or 7 teams that actually like care, and then you have like 10 teams that are just it's garbage time footy. Like,
on the beach, golfing already.
Literally. So like Palace in the second half didn't show up. Like they simply weren't there.
No.
And it's funny because like the goals like from today, a lot of them were just such stupid mistakes. Like the De Bruyne free kick shouldn't have even happened. Like, what type of challenge is that in front of the box? And then you have for Palace's second, that's such a cheap corner to give. Like, it makes no sense. So with City, like it's a good win, and they're still chasing for a Champions League spot. But it's funny to see how the rest of the league handles the rest of the year.
Yeah, I kind of knew going into this season. I mean, obviously you never know, but you have a feeling that like where your team might end up, like there's some hope and whatnot. As soon as Roger went down, it was chalked. Like there was I just knew, and like even just the aura around the team, like it seemed off. Like we're re-signing Gundogan and Kovacic, which to be fair, Kovacic, I love
Kovacic has
him.
been good, bro.
I love Kovacic. I think
Good
he's a
call
really good
today.
player. But like Gundogan, I love him. Legend at the club. Like, what are we doing? He can't run. He has no legs. And then we have like a midfield of guys that have no legs. And some of these guys we've signed. I mean, what are we doing? They're like 34.
Gundogan's about to be coach next summer when Pep leaves.
Grealish,
He got a contract extension today.
Kyle Walker.
Yeah, please.
Kenny
Henderson.
Kyle Walker now.
No. Drago, you didn't see the news. You didn't see the news, but I was so sad about it. Kyle Walker's out for the rest of the season, man. Oh, man. Oh, I just love seeing him play right back.
Yeah.
Well, now you get Emerson Royale, right?
See, this is another one. He's also out for the rest of the season.
Oh, man.
hit with so much injury, so much quality injuries.
Yeah.
I
Oh
remember the first
man.
time I told you that Kyle Walker was going to go to AC Milan, and you looked like you were going to shoot me through the computer.
I think we're lucky that it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Hey, he's had some great. There was a time when he was the best right back in the world.
Well, that time is not anymore. So that's enough city talk for me. I don't know if you guys got any final thoughts. Congrats, AB, on the win. Should we move to the next one?
I
Top
do want
four,
to say,
lock it in.
I do,
City,
want
top
to
four,
say,
lock
hold
it
on,
in.
hold on. That
Go ahead.
backflip gainer celebration was sick.
The
What?
flip?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
James. I was
backflip
gonna say.
gainer.
I thought he wasn't gonna land it, low key.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he
this
that
brother.
was
Yeah.
I didn't know he had that in him, but that was sick.
All right. Next one. Oh, Smitty, Drago, Kello. We'll kind of let you run with this for a little bit, wherever you want to start.
Let's start with the Kello first. How happy are you that our two best players are staying for 2 more years?
You might throw some on the grill.
Yeah, obviously good news. As I was talking with Kenny earlier, I have not been watching as much footy as I'd like to. So I'm not up to speed on, I guess you could say, all the most up to date information on that topic. But just from watching the highlights and knowing how Liverpool usually performs in the Prem, I wasn't surprised to see that they're at the top of the table still. Um, it looks like they've been playing exceptionally well. From watching the highlights, I saw that Salah was still being a threat as always, assisting Diaz.
He's from
Virgil,
Baraka.
Virgil just being Virgil, despite the mix-up that they had in the box, did redeeming himself in the game. So, all in all, just
Let's.
the
Yeah.
Reds are still flying. So,
Yeah. No. Let's go there. Let's go right to the end of the game.
Well, I
Smitty,
mean,
take us through
we
it.
just talked about teams being on the beach. I think if you watch the first half, West Ham were on the beach and Liverpool probably should have just put it away in the first half, and then they didn't. And then West Ham was like, "Oh shit, it's 1-0. We might actually have a chance to get a result here." And then, I mean, between Robbo and Van Dijk, I mean, Robbo, like they say about Diego Dallo, if you put Robbo's brain into a horse, the horse would bark. Now, between those two, the Chuckle brothers, I mean, I don't. Andrew Robertson, great guy, great guy. We need you in the locker room. We need the vibes. We don't need you on the pitch anymore. Okay, we
So
So
don't
you
need
think
to see it.
you think that was his fault?
No, but I just don't want to see him on the pitch. I just
Honestly,
don't.
fair.
I just don't.
Fair
Whether
enough.
it's his fault or not. If he just
Fair.
wasn't on the pitch, it wouldn't have happened, regardless if it was Virgil's fault.
Yeah, the class left back on the bench.
Bring Simicast back on. We want the
also said,
Greeks.
bring the Greek
He
back
should have
on.
played all 90. Give
This,
the
this
Greeks
is where
90.
this is where Kello comes in with the Greek mafia. One
Yeah.
little fuck,
Absolutely.
and Samikas is running up and down the pitch.
Yeah, the Greek Scouser. Give them
Greek
all
out there. Give
90.
him a chance again.
Drago, what did you think about the game?
Well, like you said, first half, West Ham just were there. They weren't really, they were just there. And then they actually, again, like you said, figured, oh, wait, we can actually win this game in the second half. So they actually stepped up their game. Lucas Paqueta was
Unreal.
unbelievable.
Unreal. He
Class.
treated it like a walk in the park.
He is a very weird and frustrating player because he will do this against the Liverpools, the Cities, and the big clubs, and then he'll play kickball against the Ipswiches and the Wolves and the.
You know
you
why though?
I know,
Because
yeah.
he's betting on Ipswich beating them at plus 1,800 odds.
He's on Bet 365 in the locker room, like, oh, 1-0. I like these. I like these odds.
And I mean, the second half it turned into a back and forth, actual entertaining game.
Mm-hmm.
The goal went in off of Robbo and Van Dijk, a little,
Yeah.
whatever. And then, of course, 2 minutes later, Virgil van Dijk comes up on
Yeah.
the corner and heads it in after there was an obvious foul leading up to the corner kick. But I won't go into that because
I mean, the floor is yours if you want.
well, okay, well, I think it was McAllister on Paqueta, but
Mhm.
anyways, and then off the bar in the 93rd, full
Full
Krug.
Krug.
Yeah,
God.
of course. I think that's the second crossbar he's hit in a couple weeks, of course. But yeah, I mean, I think West Ham played well. They were a little unlucky to, you know, to lose 3 points from that and
Uh-huh.
not get a point at least. But
Uh-huh.
happy for the boys and just get to the end of the season because, just
Well,
not.
well, Drago,
Go ahead.
last week we talked about which team has had the most disappointing season so far.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for how horrendously bad Spurs and United have been, I think West Ham being in 16th would have to be the worst
I think it's
performing team.
17th.
It is.
17,
they
whatever it
dropped
is.
tough win.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're not at
I will agree.
35 points yet.
Yeah, but this was the season to do it whenever the bottom three are this bad. So,
Yeah. You don't have
this was
any
the season to
worry.
do it.
If it wasn't
Does it concern you that you won the transfer window last year and now you finished 17th?
Yeah, it is concerning. It is very concerning. But when you have, how it started, Lopetegui and I know
manager.
Kenny
I'm
loves
telling you, when he was mentioned in AC Milan's list, the ultras literally protested, like pitchforks, fires, like this wasn't happening. We knew what was gonna go on. But
I will say at least next season's looking good. I mean, I wouldn't say good, but better.
Don't we
because-
say that's every year?
I know,
Wait,
it's
wait,
every
so-
year.
maybe he's Potter.
I know. Just you get a whole off season with Potter. I mean, we signed Wan-Bissaka, who's still, even though we,
Kenny.
He's so
17,
good.
wow, what a
In my
player.
notes,
Good.
I wrote Wan-Bissaka, good defender, bad going forward.
I don't even think
I
he's
don't
got
even think
going
about.
forward.
Yeah, I don't think about
Like
that
this
though.
season, he's been pulling out step overs, and
Wow.
I don't know what the hell happened to him.
I don't
but
think he means to do that.
I
mean,
I
your
think
best player might be suspended for the entire season.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't. I don't even think it's the Bowen, Kudus, and the striker's always been West Ham's problem. Especially with Antonio going out with that really, horrific and really unfortunate injury this season.
What happens with Ferguson?
Ferguson's on loan, so who knows? I mean, he hasn't really been getting much play time either because Fulkrug's back healthy. Because after his injury,
Getting benched for full Krug is
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, to be fair to Fulkrug, he has been good when he's been on because he, on off the bench,
Looks like one of our coaches.
15 minutes stuff. It's just when you have a midfield of Socek, Ward Prowse, Guido Rodriguez to start the season.
A lot of legs in there. A lot of legs.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Socek's been class. I hate him, but he's been class this season.
I would say Socek out of those three I take that back. Ward Prowse, since coming back from January, has been good, but he still needs that pair with him who's, the box to box, not box to box, but actual runner.
He needs a
Not-
Caicedo. He needs somebody that wears the Tims and goes and hits
Exactly,
people. That's
yeah.
what he needs.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you got the core of the players like the Bowen, Kudus, and Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo. Hopefully, we can keep him. I know he's on. I'm pretty sure he's still on loan. I don't think there's been a what's the word I'm looking for? A permanent deal discussed yet. But hopefully, he's back. And the youth, they have a couple young guys.
Scarles.
Ollie Scarles, who
Scarles got
if you
destroyed.
don't remember, Kenny, we watched when he
Yeah,
was
him and
in,
Mubama.
in the Conference League when they won the Conference League that year.
Scenes.
And then that Luis Guilherme, who's
Yeah.
looked pretty good when
was
he's
solid.
gotten it off the bench. So there's a couple young guys, but it's always
It's I feel like it's scary though. You're in 17th right now, and I feel like once the first game of the next season happens, alphabetical order wise, you might be lower. So if you're starting that low, who knows, Jacko? I'm scared for y'all.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially see how it seems like the Paqueta, scandals and everything come up every other week and nothing ever happens with it. So
Quick question for you. So, if you had to place any odds or bets, what are the chances that he's playing next season?
I have no idea, but from what it seems like he's going to be fine and he's going to be playing. Just because, nothing's happened yet, and it's literally been going on for a year because he was supposed to go to Man City for 80 million, and then that whole shit came up, and then he, didn't, and then
Yeah. Hey,
It'll
our lawyers
will
would
just
have
drop.
our
When
lawyers would have
when
cleared that.
City's charges drop, that's when the Picada news will drop. But all right, anything else for this game? Anything you want to call out?
I will
We're
say
gonna
I
win the league.
thought Gravenberch was fantastic.
We're
I think
gonna
he's
win
so
the
good.
league.
A midfield's class.
Yeah.
Midfield's class.
Yeah,
we're
Liverpool's
gonna
winning
win
the
the
league.
league.
Yeah.
Now you're
I
gonna
mean,
believe
we've known
us.
Liverpool's winning the league for the
We're
past
gonna
like
win the
2 months,
Premier
right?
League.
Yeah. All right, Smitty, you can run us
Let's
through some.
let's
Gosh.
just talk about two teams that have no chance in hell at winning the league for the next 15 years.
We just gotta start. Yeah.
Let's start with, in my opinion, the funnier one of the two. And Postecoglou's Spurs side.
Crash
Oh
out.
my gosh.
Crash out king.
2 minutes in, you can see the goal because Vicario is wearing Vaseline on his gloves and he can't hang on to anything. And this Wolves team is bad. Like, there's no doubt about it. This is a horrendous Wolves team. And then right before halftime, Dej Spence and the goalkeeper, again, Vicario, just can't hold on to the ball. Similar to Andre Onana, quite frankly. Just catch the ball. Like today, I'm sick of Ange, but today's not even his fault. Like today's just individually just people being idiots, just idiotic. Aaron, tell me
Yes.
about Ange and why give me a reason why he shouldn't be sacked within the next 24 hours.
I couldn't give you a reason.
Big one Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about this Wolves team. They are bad. But this lineup that Ange put out, I mean, look at the back four. Jed Spence at left back, Ben Davies at left center back, Christian Romero, who looks like his underpants were tied around his ankles, and then
On that goal.
Archie Gray, who is they're playing him everywhere except his actual position. I actually do think he's pretty good, but like, what are we doing?
Huh.
Their rating on FUTMob, I'm looking at it right now, is like an average of like 5.2 for a back line. I mean, what are we even? They're terrible. So like, I don't know what they're expecting. And then yeah, I mean, it was like you got some like decent guys on this Wolves team, but it's a bad team in general, right? Like they're
I
not.
do propose a question. If they do, somehow win the Europa League, even though they are Tottenham Hotspur, does it matter?
No, because Ekatike is gonna put belt to ass on Thursday, and
Mhm.
Spurs are gonna be out, and it will be that
Are
simple.
they at home this coming? No, they're in
Frankfurt's home.
Frankfurt. As a West Ham fan, I know all about Frankfurt. It was the year before they won the Conference League, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Broke
Europa
hearts.
League semifinal, I believe it was.
Yeah.
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 Back in the Craig Dawson days.
They could probably use them right now.
Oh. It's
Is he on Wolves?
You said what?
Isn't Craig Dawson on Wolves?
Yeah,
He was the one protecting Cunha and Ainori when they were fighting the coaches in the brawl.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I heard the commentators saying this was Spurs' 17th defeat of the season. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And we spoke about it briefly, but literally every single goal was just comical, basic defending. Like, there's just decisions that were being made that made no sense. It made no sense.
Defending.
Yeah. So
like Romero, yeah.
No, go.
No, it was like the one that Romero, he just like he like slowed down to try and pass it back to his goalie, and then just got like the dude just came and took it, and just then it was an easy pass across for a tap, and it's like simple defending. And Romero, like World Cup winner, what are we doing? But yeah, sorry.
Bergvall just gave the ball away, and Cunha, he doesn't even want to be playing football right now. Just no one tackled him, and he just went on through. They still have a plus 11 goal differential there. That's something Ange can hang on to. I mean, that's a positive, right, Kenny?
14th and plus 11 goal differential.
Yeah, I don't know how that's even possible. They have like
Yeah,
the
how
fifth
is that
best
even-
goal differential in the league.
That's because when they win, they win.
Oh my gosh.
Well, when they win, they only win games when they play like Ipswich and they win like 5-0.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. After Ipswich this weekend, I don't know. Anything else on Spurs?
Yeah. They've gotten too much
Um,
limelight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Smitty, go ahead.
You mentioned Ipswich, and Enzo Maresca and Ange Postecoglou this week called each other on the phone and said, "Hey, you want to see which one can get sacked first? We hate our jobs." And I mean, Chelsea, they somehow pulled it level and got a draw, but Cole Palmer, where's he at? Where's he gone, huh? Is he in Saudi? Did somebody buy him? Is he still playing for Chelsea?
Some
Let me
weirdo.
know. Let me know.
It's interesting because I think people should come to the realization Cole Palmer's not a 10. He's better off the right. He's more effective off the right. I think there's too much going on in the midfield or at the 10.
He doesn't have a brain.
Chelsea have so
Whoa,
many.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, when you look at him, it's just like looking through,
Oh,
a window or
fair,
something.
fair.
He did have an assist. He did have an assist, but I think his general play for the last 3 months has been not up to par for somebody that's supposed to be carrying that team. And maybe that's the wrong expectation. Maybe
I
we
think that's
shouldn't
what it is.
say that anyone should carry Chelsea because maybe Chelsea just aren't that good.
It's all gone to Morgan Rogers with that celebration.
Wow,
It's very
yeah.
cold in Villa. Very cold in Villa. No, Smitty, you might be onto something. It was Liam Delap didn't even start this game, which was interesting to me. And freedom fighter Jadon Sancho was on the scoreboard, which is funny in itself. But what was it? 4 or 5 wins in the last 16 matches for this Chelsea team? And they're still fighting for top 4, which is insane. It's insane. So they haven't been good. It's been months of not being good. But if they don't finish in Champions League, do you think Maresco leaves?
I don't think so.
You think they keep him?
This is
Yeah,
first season, right?
I mean, just like for continuity's sake. I mean, I don't think he's done like a bad job with this team, but it's like all the like coming in and out of, and like you have so many of these players, and just like what lineup are they sticking with? They switch their back four every game, and it's like I don't know that level of expectation. But yeah, I mean,
I
at times they look great.
I don't know if he's going to leave or he's going to stay, but if Chelsea's aspirations are to win the Premier League, I can guarantee you're not going to win it with Enzo Maresca. So that can be a decision to be made down the line. But many would say that about Mikel Arteta, who maybe they just against Brentford. Look, I agree. There was no need to even try to win the game. I was happy that they basically conceded the league and said we're going all in on Champions League. However, it's Brentford. It's Brentford. Get a result, please. Play better.
Yeah, I mean, even with some of their
but like think about all the bald heads on Brentford. Those two, that link up, man, oh man, dynamic duo right there.
I love him in Buemo and Yohan Wissa. And shout out Damsgaard because his hair is going as well.
True. As Kello would say, it's like a lollipop on the carpet. But you know what? anyways, yeah, I don't really know what to say too much about this game because Arsenal didn't care. Like Zinchenko was playing,
Yeah,
Jorginho was playing, like those two were in the midfield together.
literally.
Yeah. So the only funny thing that I'll call out here.
I know what you're about to say. Does it happen to be something about a substitution that was made?
It happened to be that Thomas Partey was subbed off with apparent injury, and I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but for someone facing something allegedly going to Spain, all of a sudden you're hurt now? I don't know. Maybe it's some Arteta dark magic. that happened to him, but just something that caught my eye.
Yeah, I don't think
hear you.
it was coincidental.
Mm,
Um,
uh,
Look, the other games, they really don't matter because we don't want to be here all night. So let's just talk about Manchester United.
okay.
Um, this is a bad team with a manager that I mean, I'm pretty comfortable. I'm almost 100% certain. I'm ready to say this is a bad manager as well.
Yes.
Bad goalkeepers, all of them. How you
All
don't,
of them.
I mean, I just, I saw a stat today that said in the history of the Premier League, Liverpool has never finished lower than eighth. And I'm watching this Man United team in 16th without 40 points yet in the middle of April. This has to be one of the generational fall offs that we have never seen before. This is bad and sad, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it just all makes sense with the middle of the week. Nemanja Matic just absolutely disses Andre Onana,
Poetic.
and then Onana has the stinker on Thursday against Lyon.
You know what the problem
Just
is,
like
though?
Matic said.
You know what the problem is, though? So, Onana has that stinker. I feel like he gave his gloves, his jersey, his cleats to Bayender today. And Bayender just... He wasn't terrible because the goals weren't really his fault.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that last one... Come on, man. Come on. Like, he looked like he couldn't even kick the ball throughout the game. Like, I was just...
I did that same exact thing. Kenny, I don't know if you remember. I did the same exact thing Binder did during a spring game going into my senior year.
Okay,
The
yeah.
difference is the guy that I gave the ball away to, I then proceeded to break his legs. He didn't score.
I remember that one. That was that WVU?
It was someone like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was funny. That was funny, but yeah, I don't know.
It's United.
The one I want to call out, which is just sad for me, Xerxes was actually playing well. I don't know if anyone watches or cares,
Yeah.
but Xerxes was playing well. And then he makes his second like longer run on the pitch. And then he just pulls up with the hammy. I'm like, yeah, this season's chopped, man.
When you see Rasmus Hoyland, the second coming of Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
it's like, what? Okay. No,
It's waiting on a miracle.
They just have bad players. Like Gary Neville said it after the match, and I was watching. I'm like, you know what? Like all the things that you could have blamed before, like in prior seasons, they had the players, but they didn't. The manager was bad, and this and that, and the ownership. These players they are not good enough to play for Manchester United. And like Christian Eriksen is one of your midfielders, and like I don't know. I mean, you're starting some like no name kid at left back. Like I don't know. The players are just not good enough.
They had a transfer window where they spent about $200 million on Mount, Onana, and Hoyland. I don't recall a team having that poor of a transfer window in a very long time.
Yeah, Mason Mount.
Wearing the 7.
Like what?
The United 7. So crazy.
I think
So crazy.
And he just wants to fight every time he's on the pitch.
So crazy. Yeah, United's in the mud. I think I can conclude the United segment with I saw a tweet that was saying it's only United that would loan out Rashford, Anthony, and whoever else they did. And Anthony is the one they want to make the permit.
Right. Yeah.
You know what though? Like, just bring Ronaldo back. You might as well. I mean, if think about it,
he wasn't the problem. He wasn't the problem.
Yeah, Kenny, I know, but think about this. Like, it probably wouldn't be beneficial to the football club to bring him back. Like on the field, nothing's gonna change. But the vibe of the fans, if you just brought Ronaldo back, I feel like they'd just be happy again. Like no matter what happened, like you could be 14th, but you'd have Ronaldo banging in a goal every other week.
Yeah, and then you got speed on the touchline. Yeah,
like, just make people happy.
A Ronaldo goal, and then speed runs to the corner with him. That sea would shatter the earth.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I think they should also give Harry Maguire another contract extension.
All right,
because with him and Ronaldo together, the set pieces, the free kicks, I think
He probably
Harry
get a concussion from the sea noise with his big head. My
Harry Maguire is
God.
a
the
top 3
morale
he's a
of the
top 3 player
fans.
on United. What? Harry Maguire is a top 3 player on United.
All right.
He might-
Yeah.
I'm not arguing that. I'm genuinely not.
Anything else for the Prem?
Getty,
Anything
no.
else for the Prem?
Stop.
Anything else for the Prem?
Getty, stop.
What are we talking about?
Name who are 3 better players on Manchester United than Harry Maguire, other than
So-
Bruno. Bruno's
so
one.
well,
Give me
Bruno's
2 more.
Just like the roster.
Yeah, give me 2 more. Better-
Diallo.
I'll give you that.
No.
That's good.
I'll
You don't.
give you
You don't
that.
rate Diallo.
I'll give you it.
That's good.
I'll give you it.
The fact that you have to think.
I mean, I'm curious. Like, I don't want to say Mazraoui, even though I think he is better than Maguire.
Hasn't shown it.
I will say.
Casemiro. Casamigos out there running around.
It's
Rashford. Or wait,
Right.
they loaned him out.
guys that aren't there.
Sancho.
Xerxes
Anthony.
better than Maguire. I don't care what anyone says. Xerxes
I
better
always
than-
liked Xerxes, but like
he was supposed to go to Milan, so I'm always a fan. But Maguire. I guess Maguire can be in a conversation, but no.
He's top 5. He's top 5.
for sure. Oh, undoubtedly.
I'll leave it there. I won't argue that one. I won't argue, even though I know my take, but that's for another time. That is for another time.
Whoever's watching this, we would argue about that for about an hour on the couch.
If there was High Noons next to me and the Drago's couch with the elevated or the recliner, oh yeah, I'd be talking crazy. But
That
Smitty in his
couch was a
chair.
good time.
yeah.
Smitty in his chair.
It wasn't a good time too many times. Don't check underneath the
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No.
I will say, my brother still lives in that house, so he's got his crew there, and that living room is just not. They changed it completely. It's just
No.
Not the same.
Oh, that's so sad.
They
There's
still
a-
have the Duquesne
there's a-
story
there's a-
poster in there.
so. Yes, yeah. I think it's impossible to get down. It wasn't it like drilled into the
I
wall.
think we used the lag bolts to put it into the wall.
Yeah, like yeah, that thing ain't coming down for the next people that live in there after Johnny's
There's
gone.
things in that house that can never be removed.
But yeah, the living room is different nowadays.
I don't know
Probably-
if you guys recall, but one of my favorite moments in that house is the one night. I don't know if you'll remember this, but we were outside just playing Pong on the porch and just blasting music. The neighbors were probably so mad, but I think it was me. I think I threw a beer can about 75 feet in the air, empty beer can crushed up, and one of our friends was singing Wonderwall, and the beer can just landed
Oh
in
my
his
God.
hand.
Yeah.
And,
I remember that.
If we post this clip, we'll put the footage because no one's gonna believe it. But
I have the
that was-
video.
that was one of the wildest moments I think I've ever seen.
I forgot about that.
I was seeing stars and stripes, but somehow my camera was up and I caught it. But yeah, if this ever goes up, we'll add the clip. Final thing here. It can be like 5 minutes, a couple minutes. I'll throw this one to Kello. So I got a message from someone that we're all familiar with. He might be playing ball in Australia, allegedly.
Just say his name.
He happened to send me a message that said, "I tell anyone who's in Pittsburgh or thinking of going to school in Pittsburgh that if you want to go pro for soccer, you need to leave or not be in that city." I only thought it was right to bring this to a bunch of Yinzers. And Kello, is there anything on your mind when you first hear this quote? Anything that comes to thought?
I would say that Pittsburgh does provide some opportunities, but if you're looking to go to that next level, I would say that, it's never a bad thing to look to go to other cities or countries.
Nice
I
way of
don't say
saying
I wouldn't say you need to, but you never want to shut any doors. So
Fair?
My
Yeah.
answer to this question is very simple. You can do it. It has been done before.
Someone on this pod.
Exactly. It has been done before, but you have to be a human being that has your head screwed on extremely tight and does not allow anybody to loosen the cap. And that's why Drago was successful, because he didn't let us loosen his cap around and spin his head around his body. Now, the majority of the people, that cap's coming loose and the water's getting drank, and next thing you know, the glass is half full, and then your career looking forward in football is just done. No chance. So that's why I think you can do it, but it's all about the mindset.
AB, Drago.
Drago, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think it depends. Like I think at a school like Duquesne, Drago was a prime example of someone like Smitty said, were screwed on tight, like did his thing, was very committed. You can make it work. You can make it happen. I think in recent years as well, like um, Pitt obviously has gotten a lot better, and like they get some incredible talent that we've seen come through, and like you can make it to the next level. Like they have a couple guys, at least one that I know that's in the MLS, and it's like you can do it, and there you can get away with being a bit more outlandish. I think we probably have heard some stories about some guys that have been outlandish and have actually
Oakland.
made it. But yeah. But then also like talking youth footy, like Pittsburgh's a small city. We do have some decent clubs around. They have gotten better and have like focused more on, doing more academy stuff and going to these better tournaments to get looked at. But it is definitely, I think, tougher in a smaller city like Pittsburgh. But that's not to say that you can't do it.
All right. Well said. Drago, any final thoughts here?
I mean, there's just so many factors that go into it. Like, it's hard to like say, in my opinion. Like, yeah, like I did it, but like my affiliation with the Riverhounds definitely helped. Um, not because I'm not saying, the only reason why I signed with them was because I was an academy player for them. Like I took my chance and I, made the most of it to get signed. So like, but there's just so many factors that go into it. It's just it's
Yeah.
hard.
No,
Like, say.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think it's interesting because we have someone who like was locked in mentally, doing everything right, made it pro, and then right after Drago, we
Yeah.
saw someone who had to get to a certain level, who had to develop into what he is, and he made it pro too.
Yeah.
So just both ends of the spectrum, something that you saw there, and yeah, I'm all set here, Smitty. Anything else to wrap up this college house reunion? Oh my god.
I don't got much else to say other than it's been a privilege. I'm very appreciative
Of
of you
all of you.
guys. I think we all can agree that living in the South Side really molded us. And yes, there were bad times, but the majority of them were good, and
And when they
they've
were
turned us
good.
into the humans we are today.
When they were good.
We're better people for it. There's no doubt about it. We are better people because of our neighbors that, led the way and taught us what we didn't want to be.
God.
And with that being said, this is another episode of Remotely Related. I'm Kenny. That's Smitty. We got Drago. We got Kello. We got AB. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace.